good. I'm gonna be born by now. What's going on with me? God, my ears. What should I do now? I'm gonna work and tell them I'm not gonna go. I'm leaving. How am I gonna do? You think they're ever making fun of us up there?
I'd say they're paying about as much attention to
Mr.
us
Vargas,
as we pay to those
I have the 3
spiders
grapes you
on the vine.
requested.
Yes. Now, let's see. The inky black color. For 4 decades, I see. Large and firm. I see. Brown. Finally. Flavorful. Stunning. Floral.
For 4 decades I served the law.
Now I think the grapes are ripe for harvest.
Far
Before the worker, would you, Ramon?
in the land of Mendoza long
Will do.
You are free. These majestic plains were my playground, and they traveled here to pick up the mantle of my ancestors.
The partners created a power cloud bound together by secrets and bonds.
Hey there.
Ah, my fellow wine lovers. Hello. Welcome to Viñeda Yates. I do apologize for the delay. The Malbec grape is a demanding mistress. So, I am Gabriel Vargas, Chief Winemaker, and I will be your tour guide. Any questions before we start?
Yes, but you're not going to like them.
We're good. Lead the way, Senor Vargas.
Wonderful. Follow me. These are busy times. In fact, we're just about to harvest this year's crop. Great expectations. So, how do you like Argentina?
Like everywhere else. Full of Americans.
First stop on the tour is the production floor, where our prize-winning Malbec grapes are processed. We insist on distributing every grape which means that our harvest is great.
Now, the temperature and humidity in the barrel room is all controlled by the ventilation system. State of
Oui. We operate. 30 degrees one Guinness right now.
my area, friend. The control terminal is up in the security room. Take a look. Just don't touch anything. One of the guards placed a smoked BLT sandwich near the ventilation filter. The whole facility smelled of bacon for a week, and Mrs. Yates is a vegan. He does not work here anymore.
Thanks.
Ah, my fellow wine lovers. Hello! Welcome to Viñeda Yates. I do apologize for the delay, but the Malbec grape is a demanding mistress. So, I am Gabriel Vargas, Chief Winemaker, and I will be your tour guide. Any questions before we start?
Yes, but you're not going to like them.
We're good. Lead the way, Senor Vargas.
Wonderful. Follow me. These are busy times. In fact, we're just about to harvest this year's crop. Great expectations. So, how do you like Argentina?
Yo!
Like everywhere else. Full of Americans.
First stop on the tour is the production floor, where our prize-winning Malbec grapes are processed. We insist on steaming every grape by hand, which means that during harvest season, the grapes do tend to pile up. Luckily, we have plenty of storage space. Our equipment is state-of-the-art, including an industrial-sized freezer unit, and last but not least, our trusty grape crusher.
Interesting. Wouldn't you say, Mr. Black?
Follow me, please.
Are you a wine man, Black? Somehow you don't seem to like.
Oh, I believe Mr. Black here is something of a jack-of-all-trades. Isn't that so?
I dabble.
I see. I just thought Yates might be sending a message. My mistake.
So, have any of you been to a vineyard before?
Only on business.
Next on our tour is the fermentation atrium, where the wine goes through its primary stage of fermentation. In these big open tanks, yeast converts the sugars in the wine to alcohol, in a process that lasts between 5 and 15 days. This is also where we squeeze the mass into a fine juice using our grape presser for the longer secondary stage of fermentation.
Fascinating.
Now, before we move on to any...
I have a question. It's... perhaps we can take a closer look.
Certainly. Lead the way.
What can you tell me about this device? Grape presser, was it?
That is correct, senor. After primary fermentation, the mass is pressed through a fine filter, leaving only the flesh and skins behind. I should add that grape stomping, the iconic practice of crushing grapes with your bare feet, is historically rare and mostly a tourist gimmick. But you are most welcome to try. Imagine you're a grape.
Thanks. I'll pass.
Go on. I'll take a picture of the three of you.
Oh, come on, Tamara. When in Rome.
Fine.
Say queso.
May I see that, Mr. Vargas? I believe I blinked.
So, this is what the little guy feels like.
No, all good. Looks like one for the mat.
Anything else you wish to know? There's really no trouble.
I got all I need.
Are you enjoying yourself, Mr. Black?
Oh, it's all very inspiring.
Winemaking is a grand pursuit. Sure. Everyone talks about craft beer these days. You can make a decent IPA in your pantry. It is pedestrian. Oh, this, my friends, this is true grandeur. Excelente. So let's continue to the barrel room. If you'll follow me.
What's up, yo?
And so we arrive to our final stop, the barrel room. This is where we store the wine during the secondary stage of fermentation. The area behind the glass is where we keep our most precious bottles, including a 1945 Grand Paladin, the most expensive wine in existence. The access doors, which are made from ballistic glass, can only be unlocked from the security room high above our heads.
Remarkable.
Ah, here comes Senor Yates now. I shall leave you in his capable hands.
How reassuring.
Ah, Miss Burnwood, is it not? Don Yates, pleased to meet you. You come very highly recommended. As Chief of the Heralds, let me be the first to say, welcome aboard.
Why, thank you, Mr. Yates. Rest assured that I will be following your every lead. Very closely.
Say, that reminds me. We're about to have a little Herald get-together up at the house. Just a modest toast to celebrate my forthcoming inauguration as Constant. You are, of course, most welcome to join us. I believe you shall make a fine Herald, once the training wheels are off.
I wouldn't miss it for the world.
Capital. Right this... way into the lion's den. Why don't you take a break, Corvo? We're done here for now, I think. Oh, but don't go too far. I may still need your services later.
I'll be closer than you think.
Oh, almost forgot. Cortazar, please nip down to the wine cellar and tell Mr. Flowers, the sommelier, to prep the 1945 Grand Paladin and bring it up to the house for our special occasion.
Got it, Chief. Flowers. Mr. Yates wants the 1945 Grand Paladin brought up to the house.
Have the ghosts of Jesus, John Lennon, and Eva Perón unexpectedly come for dinner? Out here.
A meeting in the roots.
By the ventilation system.
The 1945 Grand Paladin? It is perfection. Irreplaceable. You don't drink the 1945 Grand Paladin any more than you would write a shopping list on the Mona Lisa. Men like Don Yates know the price of everything, but the value of nothing.
I am sorry, Padron. Say, what if we exchange the labels? Served him a different wine.
Ah, you are devious, Santino. But no. If Mr. Yates wishes to destroy something beautiful, I will not stand in his way. That is between him and his creator.
How did he even get his hands on a bottle? I hear the last of the 45s were sold to Sheikh Omar Al-Ghazali for $600,000. Most expensive bottle ever sold.
Yes. A curious story. See, that bottle you refer to came from a case of 12, which were recovered from a sunken Carlisle shipping container that went down in the South China Sea during the final days of World War II. Now, of those 12, only 5 were raised intact. Al-Ghazali bought one under great media coverage, while the others simply disappeared. quietly obtained by some clandestine private collector. Until one of the bottles was donated to Mr. Yates by Byron Washington, CEO of the Pax Mundus Foundation, as a reward for winning a court case. Now, Byron's twin daughters were treasure hunters, so that explains how he managed to get first pick. But you see, I was here when the bottle arrived, and the crate it arrived in bore a curious logo. Something called the Ark Society.
Intriguing. Do you know what it means?
Well, not a clue. And now, we will never know. No, you don't get attached, Santino. For all fine things in life are transient.
Okay.
Hey, wait a minute.
See, that bottle you refer to came from a case of 12, which were recovered from a sunken Carlisle shipping container that went down in the South China Sea during the final days of World War II. Now, of those 12, only 5 were raised intact. Al-Ghazali bought one under great media coverage, while the others simply disappeared, quietly obtained by some clandestine private collector. Until one of the bottles was donated to Mr. Yates by Byron Washington, CEO of the Pax Mundus Foundation, as a reward for winning a court case. Now, Byron's twin daughters were treasure hunters, so that explains how he managed to get first pick. But you see, I was here when the bottle arrived, and the crate it arrived in bore a curious logo. Something called the Ark Society.
Intriguing. Do you know what it means?
Well, not a clue. And now, we will never know. Well, you don't get attached, Santino. For all fine things in life are transient. See, that bottle you refer to came from a case of 12. Which were recovered from a sunken Carlisle shipping container that went down in the South China Sea during the final days of World War II. Now, of those 12, only 5 were raised intact. Al-Ghazali bought one under great media coverage, while the others simply disappeared, quietly obtained by some clandestine private collector. Until one of the bottles was donated to Mr. Yates by Byron Washington, CEO of the Pax Mundus Foundation, as a reward for winning a court case. Now, Byron's twin daughters were treasure hunters, so that explains how he managed to get first pick. But you see, I was here when the bottle arrived, and the crate it arrived in bore a curious logo. Something called the Ark Society. Intriguing. Do you know what it means? Well, not a clue. And now, we will never know. Well, you don't get attached, Santino. For all fine things in life are transient.
Hey, Flowers! Over here. Come on, while we're young.
Sir, I present to you the 1945 Grand Paladin.
Huh. Somehow I thought it'd be bigger. Come on, Flowers. Guests are waiting. Go on, get yourself patted down. We're still on alert from all those big
I'm gonna
shot
need to
CEOs
frisk
getting
you
off.
if you want to come through here. I better not find something on you. You don't want to know what's gonna happen if I do. All right, all good. Go on.
I have always considered the heralds the unspoken heroes of Providence. The nervous system. Ah, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Flowers, our resident sommelier. I believe he has brought us something quite special. Perhaps you will educate us, Mr. Flowers.
This is the 1945 Grand Paladin, one of only 5 bottles in existence. The vintage is legendary, the proverbial unicorn wine. The year was hot, the wine's super concentrated, and thanks to hail and frost, the production was small. Only 300 bottles were ever produced. And when the vineyard was bombed during the closing days of World War II, only a single crate survived. It is said to have amazingly complex aromas with long, savory layers of fruit and spice flavors, and a silky texture. Enjoy.
Wonderful. Thank you, Mr. Flowers. Feel free to stick around in case our guests have questions. This wine was gifted to me by the Art Society in acknowledgement of my firm's legal services. It stands as a powerful reminder that Providence draws its strength not from force, but from partnership. We are but a few, and yet together we are unstoppable because we stand united. My friends, loyalty is everything, which is why we cannot allow traitors into our ranks.
Ah, yes. Here it comes.
This woman has waged bloody war on us. More than a dozen heralds and operatives dead. Your colleagues and clients, my friend, Ken Morgan. Not to mention the partners themselves, our founders, our benefactors. Make no mistake, this woman's hands are soaked in blood. Our blood. And Arthur Edwards, the new supreme head of Providence, is handing her the keys to the kingdom. Now, does that seem right to you, my friends? Does that sound like loyalty?
Absolutely. Perhaps Edwards simply recognizes talent when he sees it. Perhaps this is why I am also in the running to become constant. And following this childish outburst, I dare say I am in the lead. Don.
What? You're lying, of course. Which only proves my point. You cannot be trusted, Miss Burnwood. This woman will be our downfall. That is, unless we take matters into our own hands. You are heralds, sworn to protect Providence against all threats, including inside ones. I have devised a plan. Together we can make it work, but you have to decide now, my friends. Are you with me?
Yes. I agree.
Yes. I'm in.
Yes. Yes.
Listen to yourselves. Don Yates is not even appointed constant yet. And already he conspires to betray his master. I don't pretend to understand Edward's every move, but I do know that this man is an opportunist and unworthy of office.
Then you are a traitor to the heralds. The room is against you, Tamara. Stand down now or share her fate.
Edwards will hear about this.
I think not. I am sorry, but you brought this on yourself. Mr. Cortazar? Escort Miss Burnwood to my office. I'll join you shortly.
Right. Move it. Let's go.
I'm warning you, Yates. This will not go your way.
We need to get our story straight. Diana Burnwood died today by the hand of her rogue Agent 47. Tamara Vidal, who saw through the assassin's disguise, was, alas, killed as well.
I need you to move, okay?
I have no idea what I'm doing.
Not just a puddle either. We're talking knee deep. The whole place looked like a horror flick. Of course, the ape.
Yates loves a good party.
clear the floor and get yourself a guard outfit. Yates won't be long. Good. I was beginning to worry.
Were you?
No. Listen up, 47. Yates will be here shortly. He'll have his thug Cortazar do his dirty work, but he won't pass up on the chance for a good gloat and a monologue.
So, private space? Kill room decor?
Exactly. We won't get another shot at this. Now sit down and blend in. When I provide a distraction, you just be ready to move.
Corvo, pick up your damn phone. Plan B is a go. I repeat, Plan B is a go. Start prepping a crime scene. Like we discussed. Remote, staged accident. Oh, and Corvo, make it for two. Just improvise. Miss Burnwood.
You rolled out the red carpet just for me. Dawn, you shouldn't have.
So confident, even in defeat. I suppose you're not used to danger, always safe behind your screens. Just tell me one thing before we part ways.
Why me?
Why you? Why would Edwards trust you? Please. It will keep me awake at nights, and I'm 65. I get up 4 times to piss as it is.
Oh, it's simple, really. Edwards is proud. He considers himself the cleverest man alive, and yet we tricked him on Isle of Scale, and it's eating him up. He needs to win. Full, unequivocal victory. My recruitment was just the feather in his cap. By the way, you were right about one thing.
Yeah? I'm all ears.
Turns out this woman will be your downfall. If it's any consolation, Dawn,
what are
your
you doing, you
instincts are dead
asshole?
on.
Don't
I
just stand there!
will be constant.
Shoot her!
And I will make it my mission to tear down Providence brick by brick. Finish it.
Don't let my wife find me like this. Such a good boy.
Well done, 47. Better get rid of the body. Won't be long before they come looking. When you're done, meet me on the dance floor. Oh, and dress appropriately.